Ruth goes down to the threshing floor. She did everything just as her mother-in-law had ordered. Boaz ate and drank. He was in a good mood. He went over and lay down next to the edge of the grain pile, and she quietly approached, uncovered his legs, and lay down. During the middle of the night, the man shuddered and turned over, and there was a woman lying at his feet. "Who are you?" he asked. She replied, "I'm Ruth, your servant. Spread your robe over your servant, because you are a redeemer." He said, "May you be blessed by the Lord, my daughter. You have acted even more faithfully than you did at first. You haven't gone after rich or poor young men. And now, my daughter, don't be afraid. I'll do everything you are asking. Indeed, my people, all who are at the gate, know that you are a woman of worth." So let's pause there again, and we're going to get into the details of what Ruth did, but I want to just pause and reflect on Boaz's reaction here, because he is taking this as a great kindness to himself. Boaz is much older. Perhaps he was a confirmed bachelor or a widower himself, and he doesn't think of himself as much of a prize. And so when this beautiful young woman is proposing marriage to Boaz, he's taking it as his great kindness and honor to himself. You can see that in his response. You have acted even more faithfully than you did at first by not going after the young, stronger men. So let's get into the details of what exactly is going on. How is this a marriage proposal? When I kind of briefly talked about this with Penny, she said, "What's that with the feet? What is she doing here?" It's tied. So she uncovers his feet and lays down at the bottom of his feet. And the petition she asks when he wakes up and kind of groggy, it's the middle of the night, he doesn't know who it is. "Who are you?" And she says, "I'm Ruth. Would you spread your robe over me?" Now, the word for robe is the Hebrew word kanaf, which means wings. Hebrew is a very picturesque language, and she's literally saying, "Would you spread your wings over me?" Now, this is a rich biblical allusion. All throughout Scripture, God is described as a God who spreads his wings over his people, wings of protection, wings of healing. Actually, we just sang that verse in Hark the Herald Angels Sing, that the Son of Righteousness will rise with healing in his wings. That's a quote straight out of Malachi. And throughout the Scriptures, God is described as putting his wings or his robe. In the ancient Jewish garb, the men, their robes, they would call the fringes of their tunic their wings or their fringes. And so actually in Ezekiel, God describes his marriage covenant with Israel through this metaphor. He says, "I found you at the side of the road, and I loved you, and I covered you with my wings, and I made you my own." And so he's using this wing imagery specifically as a metaphor for marriage. And what's more, in the text of Ruth, back in chapter 2, that was the exact prayer that Boaz prayed over Ruth, when he's giving her all this generous food, and she says, "Why are you treating me this way?" And back in chapter 2, verse 12, Boaz said, "May the Lord reward you for your deed. May you receive a rich reward for the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you've come to seek refuge." So she's also recalling his own words to her. She's effectively saying, "Would you be the answer to the prayer that you prayed a chapter earlier? Would you cover me with your wings?" And so maybe you can imagine how this is an image of marriage. Here's a vulnerable widow coming to Boaz saying, "Would you put your protection over me? Would you cover me with your robe, with your wings? Would you bring me into your family?" is really what the image is getting at here. And so part of the uncovering of the feet then is he's going to wake up cold, want to put his blanket back over his feet, but there's Ruth right there saying, "Hey, when you do that, would you go ahead and cover me as well?" And she's proposing marriage. Again, nothing immoral or scandalous happened this night, which is really clear in the text itself. But what she's doing is she's saying, "Look, I'm not looking for a one-time chance encounter. I'm looking for a covenant here. Would you come and cover me with your wings?" And specifically, she says, "Because you are a redeemer."